everyone, this is Amy coming from Wings Wellness. Today we're going to do a seated yoga and we're going to possibly stand for just a few minutes, but I want you to always have that option to stay seated and I'll give you those modifications, okay? Let's go ahead and start with some deep breaths. That first deep breath in, push that air down into the belly. Either lower your gaze or close your eyes. Breath in, push that air down into the belly. Let's do that again. Breath in. Push that air out. Continue that breath throughout our practice. We're going to start with hands at heart center. Breath in. Big hug to the sky. And now hands come back together. A little bit of a sinking motion, kind of like a cat and cow when we're seated. Breath in. Big hug to the sky. And breath out. Hands come together. Push that belly button to the back of the chair. A little bit of a sinking motion. Do this back and forth just a couple of times at your own pace. We're getting that spine moving in directions that it hasn't possibly been doing for the day. Shoulders back, bring those shoulders down. Hands come back up. Really enjoy the comfort and the stretching of this move connected with your breath. And let's join with our hands back at heart center. Good. This time we're going to gently look to one side. Our first twist of the day. And if you're not supposed to do twists, I just want you to do breathing in and out right here at hands at heart center. Breath in and breath out. And now I'm going to hold right here. And I'm going to keep my prayer hands where they are and I'm going to look over my opposite shoulder. Breath in and out. Look back at your hands. Bring those hands to center. Now bring them to the other side. Hold your hands here. Bring your gaze over that opposite shoulder. Now look back at your hands. Bring those hands to center. This time, circle the hands around. Let's start to wake up the wrists, the fingers. Spider those fingers. Bring the hands out front, stretch out those hands. Now fan the fingers. Sprinkle. And now let's start circling those wrists one direction and then the other. Now we're gonna move from the elbow. So almost like you're stirring something on the ceiling. Move from that elbow, circle around one direction, then the other. Now let's move from the shoulders, arms, reaching front and back. Maybe your circles are this big if your shoulders are tight, and you could start to make them bigger and bigger. Let's go the opposite direction. Maybe you start with a big circle and go to a smaller one. Just kind of play around with what feels good to those shoulders when you're just waking them up. Good. All right, hands come to the front, all right? Bring those shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let's do that again. Bring those shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Okay, this time let's start to wake up those legs. Lift one knee, lift the other knee. Back and forth. And now about this time, I usually forget my deep breathing. So I'll keep cueing you to keep breathing. That's a really important part of your yoga practice. Sometimes what helps me remember is I slow my moves down and I sync my breath with movement. Breath in and out. You continue at your own pace, your breaths in and out. Think about longer exhales than inhales. Good. This time I'm going to hold that knee up. Hold gently behind the knee. Circle that ankle one direction and then the other. Point and flex. Now I'm going to push that heel forward, hand over hand. Nice and easy. Lowering down. This stretch feels really good for the first time of the day. If you don't feel anything, bring the toe towards you a little bit more. And at the bottom, remember to do one deep breath in and out. And coming back up. Moving to the other side, same thing. Start with that ankle going one way, then the other. Point and flex. And then push that heel forward, hand over hand. Gently coming down to that position that is your good stretch. You might not get down as far as the ankle. Maybe you're at the knee or the shin. Wait till you feel a really comfortable, good stretch. Then take that deep breath in and out. Coming back up. Okay. This time, option of ankle over ankle. This is a hip opener. You might stay at this position if you've been told that you should not cross your legs or should not do the full cross. Other option is just to bring the bottom of that foot next to the other foot, and that opens up this hip. So you choose what you know is best for you. I'm crossing ankle over ankle, and then I'm going to bring that up and down, getting that hip muscle working. So I'm bringing that foot almost like I am rubbing my heel up and down my shin. And then hold at that position, whether it's ankle over ankle or whether you want to do the full seated pigeon pose, which would be all the way up. And breath in. With a flat back, gently sink forward, unless you already feel like that's enough of a stretch, just crossing the legs. Tight hips can be a problem as you age, so really take your time, enjoy this stretch. Breath in, push some good air into the belly, into that hip. Coming back up. Choice of giving that knee a little bit of a hug so that that stretch moves down into the glute a little more. And bring that leg down. Opposite side, ankle over ankle, or just slightly putting the bottom of the foot, letting that knee drop open. Next option is ankle over ankle, and then bringing that heel up and down that shin. We're waking up that hip. Go ahead and find that position that you've chose, whether it's ankle over ankle or bringing it all the way up. Breath in and leaning forward. Take your time. Take another breath in and out. Coming back up. Good. Bring that heel down. All right. This time, feet hip distance apart, maybe a little further. And then we're just going to stretch out that lower back, making kind of sunflowers, gently leaning one direction. Start that circle, stretching out that back. Opposite direction. And back to center, good. And bring those feet back together. Hands at heart center, breath in. Our first seated sun salutation, reach up. Hands come back to heart center. Let's do that again. Breath in. Big stretch. This time we're going to do a full seated sun salutation. I'll show you the modifications. Breath in. Now diving forward. Here are your options. If you want to hold right here, just gently, elbows on the knees, and drop the head and neck just to get a little blood flow to the head. Here's your second option, is if you want to come down, whoa, drop that head and neck, and then push down on those ankles, coming back up, nice and easy. Good. Let's do that one more time. Start with gentle, hands at heart center, breath in, diving forward, either holding right here or Slowly lowering down. Drop that head and neck. Little blood flow to the head. Push down on the feet, slowly coming back up. Good, okay. Draw those shoulders up, back, and down. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to lean forward. So we're starting to wake up the muscles in the legs. Now, here are the options. You can just fire up the muscles as soon as you lean forward into that chair position. You will start to feel your legs, the strength of them firing up. If that's not enough for you, see if you can slowly lift your bottom off the chair. Okay, now here's the time when you can sometimes stop breathing. So let's practice that deep breath in and out. Ready? Let's do that again. Breath in. Coming slightly off the chair, or just hold here, pushing down on those legs and feet. Okay, I'm going to do that a few times. Okay, really challenge yourself. This is a safe place to challenge yourself. That chair is right there behind you. If you want to reach forward, relax your shoulders, maybe lift off that chair. It's not easy to do, so maybe you don't lift off the chair. Maybe you just move in that direction. Okay, here is the next option or modification. So for some of you, I want you to continue doing that move. If you want a little more of a challenge, I want you to move forward and come into a standing position. Reach those hands up. And then coming back down. Make sure that chair is right behind you. Okay, we're going to do that a few times. This is 2. I think we'll do that 5 times. 3. 4. And this will be our last one. 5. Go ahead and have a seat. And if you're okay standing, we're going to do just a few minutes standing. So coming up, standing behind the chair. Feet hip distance apart. And now let's see if we can step out slightly, toes facing forward. And now bring the hand to the opposite side of the chair, other hand on your leg. And I'm just going to slightly lean forward, gentle stretch. Use the chair, use your core to come back up. Bring those hands to the other side of the chair. Hand on the leg, other hand on the side of the chair, coming towards that opposite leg. And coming back up. Okay? Now, this time, toes slightly pointing outward for horse pose. Push those knees back, standing up tall, shoulders back. If you start to lean forward, that means you probably shouldn't sink down anymore. So only stand up or move those legs as far as you can without stooping forward, okay? So maybe you hold right here and that's enough for you. But if you want to sink down for horse pose, breathing in and out. Really use those glute muscles as you come up. Hold here, side to side motion. Anything that I'm doing where you feel pain, then back off, go to the previous move that I just did, and play around with what feels like a good stretch or a good strengthening for you. Coming back up, down. This time, hold right here. If you want to lift one heel, then the other, do so. Good. And coming back up, very good. Toe heel the feet together. Let's do one downward dog standing. So that's taking, I'm going to turn the chair to the side. That's taking a step back. Neutral head and neck. You can do this at the kitchen table or at the counter to stretch out that back, stretch out the arms, legs. Now neutral head and neck, so I'm not dipping my head and I'm not looking up. Neutral head and neck. Bend those knees, lift those hips up for your modified downward dog. Good. Okay, take a step forward. This time we're going to come back to the front of the chair. And making sure that that chair is directly behind you. See if you can slowly lower down. And seat it. Good. Excellent. All right. This time lifting that foot. And then I want you to either hold behind the knee if you need some assistance. If not, out and in. When you're out to the side, lower it down. Okay, so I have one foot facing forward, one out to the side. And I'm going to slightly lean forward. Coming back up. Slide that foot in. Let's do the same thing other side, okay? Either holding behind the knee or just back and forth. This is a hip strengthener. And now I have one foot pointing to the side, one forward, gently lean forward for that hip stretch. And coming back up. Good. This time we're going to do a warrior two seated. So same position, chair, leg goes out to the side, okay? Arms come up. Bring those shoulders down, relax. Now look out over that arm and the knee, leg that is out to the side for that warrior two. Keep breathing in and out. Choice of coming back to neutral, beginning, or slightly leaning on that knee and bringing that other hand over the top, other arm. Look down at the floor and then look up to the ceiling. And back to neutral. Use your core, use your hand to come back up. Now let's move to the other side, okay? Bring that leg to the side. Arms go up. Let's practice relaxing our shoulders. Bring those shoulders up. And then bring them down nice and relaxed. Now let's gaze out over that hand, that arm, and towards that knee, leg that's turned out for that seated warrior two. Choice of going back to your neutral position or leaning towards that knee. Bring that arm over. Look down at the floor. And look up. Let that arm. And back to neutral. Okay, use the core, use the hand to come back up. Bring that foot back in. Good. Okay, now this time back to the legs. We're gonna push that toe out. Almost think about a horse that is pawing its hoof on the ground. Bring it out, drag it under. Let's go to the other side, okay? Same thing, point that toe out front, drag that foot towards you. Excellent, okay. Let's do a twist, hand on opposite knee, sit up tall, other hand behind your back. Gently bring those shoulders back, look over. Head and neck, look over that shoulder. Breath in and out. Now back to center, okay? Your twist might look different than mine, so you may have your hand here, hand behind your back, and this is where it feels about right for you. Otherwise, you might use this hand, give a little bit of leverage to look a little bit further over that shoulder, back to center, okay? All right, hands behind you if you have room on the chair. Otherwise, hands can be flat on the thighs. And we're gonna use our arms to give a little extra, addition leverage for the spine to lengthen. So I'm pushing down, giving a little space for that spine to stretch out. And then I'm releasing. Okay, so this is where we're practicing that posture, giving a little extra room for the spine to just really lengthen. So I'm pushing down. And back out. Let's do that again. Breath out. Good. Hold right here. Keep breathing. Very good. Okay. One more time. Heel in front. Option of both heels in front. Leaning forward. One leg at a time is optimal. I'm just going to do this for time's sake, but we want to stretch out those legs. One more time. Okay. Option number 2 is heel and toe. slightly lean forward, you're gonna feel a little different stretch. It moves a little higher up towards the back of the knee, up the hip. This one might make you feel unbalanced. If it does so, then you probably should stick to just heel on the ground, okay? Or if you have a chair that has arms, you could challenge yourself a little more with this one. And coming back up. Good. Okay. Now this is a really good time in your yoga practice to do some deep breaths in and out. Maybe take 2 minutes, set that timer, practice keeping your mind at rest. And let that timer go for 2 minutes. See if you can just do some deep breathing in and out, bringing your thoughts back to calm and peace. And when you notice those thoughts starting to get busy, just take a breath in and out. And imagine pushing all those busy thoughts away. Well, I'm so glad I could join you today. I hope I'll see you again soon.